Fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
Well, here we have a jammed Compur shutter. Might as well quickly remove it from the shutter board with the assistance of a little video magic. With the lens removed from the body, take a side note on how to identify the model of the Compur shutter. The housing of a double knot shutter is 45.2 millimeters. The housing of a single knot shutter is 58 millimeters. The diameter of this Compur shutter is 45.2. Okay, let's take this baby apart. With a strong grip, or maybe with the assistance of a flexi clamp, remove the front lens group. With the lens removed, a retaining ring will be revealed. This particular shutter is missing the stop lock screw that typically needs to be removed before the retaining ring can be spun off. There is a special tool for this procedure, but a spanner wrench used in the offset position will work fine. Once the retaining ring is loosened with the spanner, it is probably easier to use the point of a curved tweezers to spin the retaining ring out the remaining distance. Now the cover plate, the knurled dial ring, and the cam plate can all be removed. There we go. After the lame humming and the removal of the three before mentioned parts, maybe we can see what's going on with this shutter cocking ring. Still jammed. The self-timer might be the culprit. Let's take that out. Remove the single screw holding the self-timer in place, and then slide the cocking ring aside, taking note of the cocking ring spring. Also remove the tri-lever latch after pulling the cocking ring and spring off. Just lift the tri-lever latch up with a pair of tweezers, taking note of the small spring that is attached to the back of the post. The self-timer can now be removed. Lift it out with a pair of tweezers. Comes right out. Using a light shutter oil, lubricate the points of contact of all the gears within the timer escapement. Before lubricating the escapement, you should at the very least soak it in a bath of isopropyl alcohol or run it through an ultrasonic cleaning process. Once all lubrication points on both sides of the timer have been properly oiled, exercise the timer to work the lubricant down into the bearings of the gear post. After a couple times through with a little encouragement, the gears should start running smoothly as long as the spring is intact. If they still stubbornly refuse to cooperate, then repeat the cleaning and lubrication procedure until they run smooth and easy. When reinstalling the self-timer, the linkage lever will need to be seated over the post of the selector lever. Align and drop in place. After the single self-timer screw is secured, check the engagement of the selector post with the lever and time out the self-timer by releasing the trigger on the self-timer. At this point, it should time out without releasing the shutter. Next, install the engagement tri-lever. It just slips over the post. It helps to hold it with the tweezers. Drop it down into place with a little encouragement. Just like that. Nope, that's not right. Like that. Nope, one more turn. That's still not right, and the spring is yet to be engaged. Okay, fiddling with it is not going to help. Let's take it out and start over again. The curved end of the spring should be hooked over the lever in the manner shown. Keeping the spring locked into position with the pressure of the tweezers, drop the lever over the post. Maneuver the lever into the position shown as you slide the straight end of the spring over the stopping post. Note the spring holding slot filed into the blade of the screwdriver. Properly installed, it should function as shown here. Remove the shutter cocking gear before installing the shutter cocking ring. Hook the shutter cocking ring spring over the shutter cocking ring spring post. Once that's hooked over the post, you can then try to maneuver the shutter cocking ring into position. Move the ring slightly back and forth as you position so that it will clear the levers. Once it's in position, drop the shutter cocking gear post down into the post receiver hole. Take care to align the first tooth of the shutter cocking gear to the first tooth of the shutter cocking ring. Now you can install the cam plate. Install the cam plate so that all the posts from the escapements and the levers engage properly. With the cam plate in proper position, install the knurled dial ring. The notches of the knurled ring align with the wide notch on the click stop of the shutter speed cam. Satisfied with the knurled ring and the cam plate, install the next part, maybe call it the diaphragm indicator plate. There is an alignment post that locks into the hole of the plate that you can usually engage by spinning the plate slightly. Once the plate is in place, install the retaining ring. Start the retaining ring with your fingers, being careful not to cross thread. With the thread started, the tip of a curved tweezers can be used to thread it on just a little bit farther. The retaining ring only needs to be tight enough to hold the cam plate and the knurled knob into position, but still allow the knurled knob to be turned to change the shutter speeds. Release the shutter a couple times and make sure that it works properly before locking down the plate. Except the retaining ring lock screw is missing. Time to find one. This one should work. Time to button it up and call it done.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.